Hi, it's Mike again, and this time I'm going to be critiquing a job advert. And again, this is for the course Recruiting and Selecting the Right Person. The job advertisement I selected is for a director of HR at a university here in the country that I live in, which is the United Arab Emirates. I chose this advert because it's reasonably similar to my current role, but it's a very different industry, and I was interested to see, the similarities that might exist between my industry and the industry that this one is in. The role is for someone to lead the HR department in a higher education setting and describes the various responsibilities that go along with this. This includes leadership, HR operations, digitization, and communications. The job description clearly spells out the required knowledges, skills, education, and experience that they're requesting for the role. For the most part, I would say this job advertisement is pretty good. It indicates the role very clearly. It has a very detailed description of what the role is going to be responsible for. It also articulates the necessary background for the position quite well. They clearly are looking for somebody who has experience leading a human capital department in the past. And it also gives a good sense of what the role is by focusing on the certain areas of HR that they've chosen to list. I can tell as somebody that does this job what the priorities in the organization are going to be. It's fairly interesting that for example, that one of the things they chose to focus on was digitization, and that is something that is likely to appeal to quite a few human capital professionals. Having said that, I do think that there's quite a bit that could be improved on in this job description, in this job advertisement. And the first and most important thing is there really doesn't seem to be anything to get me excited about the role. Or I'm familiar with this higher education provider from the local community here. I know people that have gone to the school. I know that they have a really excellent reputation, but there's none of that in the job advert that might get me interested in why why I would want to contribute to their mission. Secondly, and very similarly, there's nothing that really states why they would be a great employer. It's really just a listing of this is what we need, and we encourage you to apply if you have these skills. There's no details about the values of the organization or the kinds of things that the organization is trying to accomplish or the mission of the organization. Whereas for a candidate like me, that would be a really important part of trying to establish whether or not I would want to apply there. And finally, and perhaps most importantly, the requirements that they have are very restrictive. They are requesting a master's degree, a formal certification, and significant experience in a higher education setting, and are not clearly open to candidates that don't have that. Having worked in the field for a long time, I'm very confident that human capital is a pretty transferable skill. And I think that by restricting their search to just people that have done exactly the same thing before, they risk narrowing their candidate pool unnecessarily and missing out on people that would perhaps not only be more diverse, but better performers in the role. And so, if I were to say that one major thing with this particular job advertisement is that it's too restrictive to really attract a diverse and highly qualified pool of candidates. Thank you.